Okay, so this will be video one of a YouTube series I'm going to start, essentially just filling you guys in on a bodybuilding journey for a 36-year-old dad. It is something that I started later in life. I've been a fitness enthusiast, for the last about, I'd say 15 years. Took a little break here and there to start my business and start my family, fell off, gained some weight, started drinking, and eventually got sober again in March of 2022 and started to take fitness extraordinarily serious again. So it was about, I'd say 6 months ago now, where I was working out at a local gym here in town. It's called Sand Strength, and it is a more serious bodybuilding, powerlifting, strongman gym where the general community is more vested in taking their health seriously and their lifting seriously, a lot better than your conventional like Planet Fitness, 24-hour fitness, anytime, things like that. So you just get a better group of people that are more like-minded. And I was working out one day, and I had a guy come up to me and ask me if I was a bodybuilder, and I was like, no, I just I do a lot of hypertrophy workouts and high volume bodybuilding stuff, but just for fun, not for the sake of being a bodybuilder. And slowly but surely, one person after the next, I was in a cut at the time, so I had a lot of definition, and I was really just focused on high volume workouts and getting as lean as possible, eating really clean, not necessarily tracking my macros, not necessarily focus on any specific regimen other than high volume and eating clean. And I think it must have been like the 8th person that said it. I finally started to think, what do these people see something in me that I don't? And I just don't think about myself in that aspect. I'm a modest person. But, after that last person asked me, I decided, I'm going to sign up for this show and see what happens and see what I can pull off. So I signed up for the Tahoe Classic show put on by Center Podium, and that show was August 9th. Went out there, did okay. I entered men's physique, and I think it's a class that fits me well right now for where my physique is at, and did well. I entered open, I entered true novice, and I entered masters because I'm an older guy, so 35 plus for masters, and I ended up doing pretty good. I took a 4th place and a 5th place in open and in true novice, and in masters I didn't place, actually, I don't think. I didn't get a medal. So that was actually, there was some stiff competition in that, and what a great experience. So ultimately is what led me to falling in love with competitive bodybuilding, and I have gone down a rabbit hole since. So today it is November 9th, and my next show is December 6th, so I'm about a little less than 4 weeks out from my next show. And this time, around this time at the 4-week out period, for that Tahoe show, I was sitting at around 178, and I'm sitting at about 195 right now. So I managed to put on some size, and I did that through coaching. I did have a coach for my first show, and guy was great, and I think he helped me a ton. But I did feel that there was room for improvement, and that I might be able to find somebody that I clicked with personality-wise, that understood me and what I was trying to accomplish a little bit more. And so I reached out to the bodybuilding community and found out about this guy, Suggs. And he's in Concord. He's about an hour away. And best decision I've made this far into my bodybuilding journey was linking up with Suggs and him just really understanding where I was at and what I needed to take things to the next level. So happy to say I've been working with him, and I've managed to put on about anywhere, we'll see where the cut ends, but it's looking like I put on about 15 to 20 pounds of lean mass. And we all know, well, not we all know, but as you go through your bodybuilding journey, you find that you end up cutting a lot more weight than you thought you had on you. So I still got 4 weeks, hoping to walk on stage somewhere between 185 and 190. I walked on stage last time at 172, and so we'll kind of see. I think I can get a little bit more lean than I was last time. but I think I should have netted around that 15 pounds of lean mass gain. So I want to start this channel so I could just bring more awareness to bodybuilding in essence. You know, there's some great content out there talking about the subject, obviously, and I don't think I've seen a lot of guys talking about, you know, being in your mid-30s, having 2 kids, maybe you're a business owner, you have a lot of responsibilities on your plate, and you're just looking for an avenue of a release, something that, you know, you can work hard towards as you have towards other things in your life and really reap the benefits. And I found that bodybuilding is that thing for me. It allows me to find a true sense of accomplishment at the end of my day. I have something to look forward to that's like kind of that personal me time where you just get a little time away, and ultimately is benefiting your entire family, because I'm learning more about self-discipline. I'm learning more about setting a goal and achieving it that seems almost unobtainable, especially at this age. And for all you guys or gals out there that are, you know, getting into this a little bit later in life, I think that it's completely worth going after, and I think it's an achievable goal. So there's measurable goals that you can find within this sport, and that's really what goal setting is all about, is finding something that's measurable and achievable, and setting a date, right? There's always like, oh, I want to lose weight, I want to gain muscle, I want to go to the gym more often. But it's, you know, more realistically is like, I have a bodybuilding show December 6th, and I need to come in at 4% body fat, and I need to make sure I'm sticking to these specific macros and this specific calorie intake or deficit and hit this amount of calories per day in order to achieve this goal. And that's measurable. So something I found out through business and about life in general is that without setting a measurable goal, you're really kind of just like shooting rockets and hoping for the best. So bodybuilding is teaching me a lot about that. And if you're out there and you're in your mid-30s and you feel like you have a lot on your plate and you wonder how I balance these things, I'm hoping that some of these videos can shed some light on the subject. So for what it's worth, I absolutely love this sport. The community is absolutely amazing, and the amount of self-discipline it takes to achieve it is very rare to find in people. So you're surrounded by a very, very small percentage of people that can achieve these things. And don't get me wrong, I think anybody can achieve it. So maybe I shouldn't say that can. I guess I should say you're surrounded by a very select few people that are willing to put themselves through this in order to achieve a goal. And coming from a racing background to where, you know, I race at an extraordinarily high level, racing off-road trucks, it's not something where, you know, if you need that competitive edge, you can dump thousands of dollars into getting a faster engine, or, you know, being able to spend more time refining your car and blah blah blah. It's like, this is all on you. So the direct results and the effort that you put in is a direct reflection of your dedication, self-discipline, and work ethic. And it doesn't really, I mean, ultimately you still need to buy your vitamins and supplements and food and all these things that do equate to a lot of money. There's a big difference in, you know, buying clean food versus somebody coming in that might be slower than you, racing cars, and buy a $50,000-$60,000 motor that you just can't afford or keep up with. So bodybuilding is a true expression of hard work and dedication, and it's something that I love. So just to reiterate, if you're kind of getting into this video late, I'm 36 years old. I've been sober since March of 2022, which I think contributes a lot to my success, is being able to stay focused and not have distractions that would take away from gains or from my ability to go to the gym at any given time. So, gosh, and I'm in a cut right now. I'm in a huge deficit. So, went through a bulk. If you've done this, bulking is fun. If you're bulking correctly and you're tracking everything, you just watch the scale go up, your physique changes, you start to lose your six-pack, definition starts to go away, but you know you're goal-driven, and you know that there's a purpose to it if you have a coach. If not, I can see how you'd get in your head and like give up on it. But you send your coach pictures, you're like, dude, I'm getting fat, you know, I'm getting chubby. And he's like, yeah, it's part of the process, man. Trust it, you know, just go with it. I have the, you know, they'll tell you I have this program set for a reason, and I've had a lot of successful clients. So like, just stick to the plan. And you do. And right now, as I'm bouncing back and my physique is coming back, I'm just like over the top stoked with how Suggs approaches things. how he listens to you and makes sure that you're a priority. So, huge shout out to him for just like enduring this process with me and many other athletes in the sport. So, and I can't thank some people in this industry enough. The community really comes together and makes sure that you feel supported for the most part. And yeah, other than that, I'm going to keep posting content about this, about my diet, about what it looks like, what I've found works for me. And there isn't a one-size-fits-all approach to anything, but I think that generally speaking, the way I process certain foods, carbohydrates, the way I digested things, the way I recovered in my 20s is a lot different than it is in my 30s. So if I can bring some awareness and help other people that are, a little bit older getting into this sport, achieve their goals, or if you feel that you can relate to my content and want to reach out to me, I've always been super approachable and willing to give people my time. And maybe this is, one way I can give back to this community that's given a lot to me, and another way that I can just bring awareness to the sport and get more people involved. I come from a CrossFit background, and the one thing I always appreciated about CrossFit so much was the fact that there was such a diverse group of people in there, whether it was like soccer moms, kids, older people, really old people, super fit people. The point was it got so many different people's hands on a barbell. It introduced people. It's like a gateway drug, if you will. It gets you involved and then allows you to expand on what skill set you find that you like the most, whether it's powerlifting, strongman, CrossFit, or bodybuilding. So for me, it transitioned all into bodybuilding. By the way, if you can see the mess in the back, don't mind it. I was on a road trip. I went to SAC to go work out at Stoic Gym, Jeremy Buendia's gym that he opened up in Roseville. And so I have a mess back there, but I'll clean it up later. I got back late last night and wanted to get the gym. So other than that, I think I've been talking long enough. This is probably going to be too long of a video, and I have to edit some stuff out, but hopefully there's some decent topics for our first video. I'll be going over nutrition. I'll be going over workout plans. I'll be going over what I do for protocol, what I do for peptides. I do think that peptides are just an absolutely outstanding thing that more people need education on in order to fully understand and get away from some of those prescriptions and get away from some of those other supplements that might have a lot of side effects, because you can get so much out of peptides these days. I'll be going over what it looks like to be in a deficit mindset, little things I've learned over the years, because although I am fairly new to bodybuilding, I am not new to being in a deficit, being on a diet, what foods to cook with, what oils to use. There's so many different things out there that are 0 calorie, but there's still better alternatives that are all natural, whether it's avocado oil, whether it's ghee, whether it's the type of salt you're using, the type of cinnamon you're using, the type of sweeteners you're using. There's certain sweeteners that make you retain subcutaneous water versus some that digest really well, and everything works different for everybody. But I'll share what works for me, and I hope it works for a lot of you. And I hope at the end of the day that if this channel does anything, it really just sheds some light on certain subjects you guys want help with, and really can answer some of those unanswered questions. So feel free to comment, like, and share. Message me anything you want. I'm very transparent. I'll answer you very honestly. I have nothing to hide. Don't care. I'm not here to be this specific person. I'm just here to be the best version of myself, and if it helps somebody, awesome. Other than that, happy Sunday. God bless. Love you all. And go spend some time with your family. Walk your dog, walk your cat, take your kids for a walk, take your wife for a walk, say something nice to somebody, hold the door open for somebody. All right, you guys, don't forget to say thank you. Bye.